Gemini, there seems to be an oppositional force that tries to anchor you into something that you don't really want to do, to become involved in. And it seems that you're trying to fight these forces from every corner of your consciousness. Let's have a look and see for you. Welcome to this is the Arcana Veil. Rising, action, being told to act. Cancer, there's some Cancer in your chart, or perhaps this is for someone dealing with a Cancer. There's immersive here. There seems to be some sort of focus on your consciousness in a way that is wanting you to act in a way that could be allowing yourself to not become so immersed in certain frequencies anymore. There seems to be a frequency that keeps trying to anchor itself into you. Perhaps it's a Cancer person that you're dealing with for some of you. If it's not a person that is Cancer, then it definitely is a Cancerian-like energy that definitely is playing itself in a particular way. The connection for you is to try and implement the skills of the Cancer so that you're able to set a new frequency and course for yourself. Gemini, let's have a look for you and see. Okay, we have the Page of Coins here. We have the Moon. So someone is sneaking around your energy, or you are trying to resist someone trying to pull you down, maybe. We have the Ace of Hearts here, or the Ace of Cups. This is a new deck. We have the Eight of Spikes, which is Swords, Eight of Swords. So even if you're trying to match up the kindness, and there's the Five of Spikes here as well, which is Five of Swords. So are you causing a bit of a stir in the frequency around you, or is there definitely a stir that gets a little triggered or upset by the way of how you bring across your nature? Or are you just observing things for the way that they are within the nature of how it tries to interact with you on a deeper level? How does it impact you? Does it touch you very similarly towards feeling like it's elusive, that you're unable to see who it is? The Moon under the Cancer card definitely indicates that there's definitely some sort of emotional illusionary aspect that is coming to the surface that you're trying to figure out. You're trying to see what is this causing this? Is this internal? It seems to try and immerse you into a frequency that is perhaps not of your own, because it seems to be Eight of Swords here and Eight of Spikes and Five of Spikes here, which definitely suggests that it does make you feel like you feel a little disempowered, you feel like you're a little bit removed, or your power is being impacted in some way, shape or form. This is not your emotional energy from what I'm seeing here, because your heart has got the Ace of Cups, which means your thoughts are always, for the focus here seems to be on how to present yourself in a much higher frequency. We will look and see if there is someone hiding in your energy, or perhaps a thought form that is projecting itself towards you to make you feel as if you are powerless. And then the Five of Swords is definitely some sort of fighting taking place here. I don't really like the word spike, so I'm just going to call them swords. As you can see, the Eight of Swords here is definitely showing up that there seems to be some sort of focus on trying to ascertain its rule of thoughts over your consciousness, sort of massaging your mind in a particular way that is perhaps not very healthy. It is making you feel as if it's kind of dragging you down a little bit. Perhaps you need some time out. It could also perhaps be coming up from, well, we can see that there's a Cancer person or person with Cancer hiding in your energy field. I'm just going to call it as I see it. If it's not exactly like that, then this is not necessarily always the case, but it is causing for you a sense of feeling as if you're being knocked about a bit. The Five of Swords here definitely knocking you around a little, making you knock yourself about. A lot of heightened emotional energy that's being met with mental energy here. Page of Coins here, while you're working, obviously, doesn't seem to be like there's a problem going on there in the background. Financially, you seem to be doing quite well, even if it's just taking the way that it does. Let's have a look and see in the underworld for you what's hiding around. And if this is an actual person on the external factor. Knight of Cups here over the Page of Coins. Definitely showing up its nature here. Someone that you've been dealing with, that you've been sharing information with. Knight of Swords here. Another knight. Definitely focusing on what you're doing. Definitely a focus on trying to destabilize a particular idea that you've got here. I've got two that came out here. We have the Chariot over the heart of the Ace of Cups here. We have the Four of Pentacles underneath the Eight of Swords. We have the Fool here over the or underneath the Five of Swords. So we're looking at seeing how the frequency is carrying itself across here. There's definitely a need to try and establish some sort of groundwork in your consciousness. If I didn't know any better, I'd say you're obviously exposing yourself to certain things and places and people that in a particular way that's definitely making them feel reactive towards you. You're trying to set business at hand. You're not someone that seems to be in a position to be able to disconnect yourself from whatever it is. Your passions seem to be quite high here. There's a lot of fire and a lot of air taking place here. The Chariot underneath the Ace of Cups, very much a Cancerian symbol, determining that you're definitely setting that frequency in place. Perhaps the action of needing to set an emotional connection or set an emotional boundary in place is needed to be able to disconnect from things that are coming to you from the outside. So you're trying to set it up inside of you by focusing on that endeavor. But it seems to be that the more you focus on your internal self here, the more it seems to aggravate others around you for some reason that makes you feel that you're picking up on them. Perhaps you're a super empath, picking up on them as if they're not really acknowledging your consciousness. They're not really acknowledging your mental space of where you are. Let's have a look and see for you the middle ground here. There's the Queen of Swords here over the Knight of Cups. Air and water very much matching over the action, which is pretty much your dynamic right now. Using adequate air and adequate water in terms of moving that energy forward. We have the King of Wands here over the Knight of Swords. So you've got fire and air here. So water and air, fire and air in a sort of a mental thing that you're going through. You could be dealing with an air sign, could be dealing with a fire sign, you could be dealing with a water sign. There seems to be a lot of those elements in your sign, or trying to attach to your inner consciousness in some way, shape, or form, or you are giving a lot of focus on these people in your life path. The only thing that's not there seems to be the earth sign. We have the Eight of Cups right over the Ace of Cups and the Chariot. The focus on the chalice, or the focus on bringing the energy in place here, definitely on an emotional level here. We have the Eight of Swords there, and the Eight of Cups here. There's an 8 or a nexus point here, which is indicating that you are trying to meet emotional or mental anguish with emotional calmness. You're trying to like keep yourself stable here. You're moving perhaps sideways, which is the movement of the crab. Left and right, sideways movement, moving through the dimensions of the frequency and the reality. You seem to be doing it quite well, despite perhaps having others trying to get into your energy here. You seem to be fully intact. We have the Emperor right over all of that frequency that's being placed here, the Eight of Swords and the Five of Pentacles, very much in your masculine and also in your feminine on a mental perspective. I'd say you strategically are preparing yourself to move through a lot of projections that seem to be taking place. It seems to be the norm right now to project a lot of emotional hatred or anger towards people and do it in silence. That seems to be something that does come up. We have the Knight of Pentacles here on this end, and this is definitely saying that you're meeting it. The more that there's projections taking place, the more you're sort of redirecting your focus away from them and that which is causing that. Even the projections inside of your consciousness that you have towards yourself, you're pulling away from those ideas and feelings as well, which is not necessarily healthy anymore. You're kind of sort of moving away from that and establishing a new order within your consciousness, where you are more in control of that. And that is where you should be at all times. And yes, it may feel like it's immersing you, it's trying to absorb you into its plurality, or its pleroma, or whatever you want to call it, the soup of its consciousness, but you're kind of moving away from that and not really getting stuck in there anymore. You're matching it, but you're also not being absorbed by it. So I'd say you're on the right track here, Gemini. This was your reading. I hope this has given you some guidance and some affirmations. Until next time.